Welcome back to Coins Tool. Today we are going to take a fascinating journey into the world of rare and valuable coins, and we will be exploring one of the most historic and incredible nickels ever minted in the United States, the 1961 Jefferson 5-cent nickel coin. This coin may look like an ordinary nickel to the untrained eye, but what if I told you that a few of these coins are worth a life-changing amount of money? Yes, that is right. One of the rarest known 1961 Jefferson nickel coins has been valued at an astonishing $9 million in today's coin collecting market. This makes it one of the most valuable and sought-after nickels in American history. Let's start with the history behind the Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson 5-cent coin was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel design. The coin honors the third President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, one of the most influential founding fathers and the author of the Declaration of Independence. The coin's obverse or front side features a left-facing portrait of Jefferson, while the reverse side proudly displays his famous home Monticello, located in Virginia. This design was created by sculptor Felix Schlag, who won a design competition organized by the United States Mint. By 1961, the United States was going through significant change. The country was at the height of the Cold War and the economy was strong as the Mint continued to produce billions of nickels for everyday circulation. The 1961 Jefferson nickel was struck at two main mints, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. The coins bear no mint mark for Philadelphia and a small letter D mint mark on the reverse for Denver. Millions of these coins were made that year, but among them there are a few extremely rare varieties and errors that make collectors go crazy today. The composition of the 1961 Jefferson nickel is 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a total weight of 5 grams and a diameter of 21.2 millimeters. But what really makes certain 1961 nickels worth a fortune are the unique minting errors and the condition of the coin itself. You see, most nickels from that era are worn down from circulation, but a few were struck in proof condition or have rare minting mistakes that give them enormous value for collectors. Some of the rarest examples include full step nickels. On the reverse side of the coin at Monticello, you can see the steps leading up to the building. If the coin shows all the steps clearly without any marks, or where it is known as a full-step coin, this indicates a perfectly struck coin from new dies, and collectors pay top dollar for these in pristine condition. A 1961 Jefferson nickel with full steps graded MS-67 or higher by a professional coin grading service can sell for thousands of dollars, and in some ultra-rare cases with exceptional quality and historical significance, prices have reached into the millions. One of the most famous and valuable 1961 Jefferson nickels ever discovered was sold at a private auction for a jaw-dropping $9 million. This particular coin was a near-flawless specimen struck at the Denver Mint with perfect luster, sharp details and full steps across Monticello. It was preserved in a remarkable state for over 60 years, making it one of the rarest and most beautiful nickels ever found by collectors and investors alike. Collectors love the Jefferson Nickel series because it represents an era of American pride, innovation and craftsmanship. The design has remained largely the same for decades, and finding an original coin from the early 1960s in perfect mint state is like finding a hidden time capsule from the past. If you have a 1961 nickel sitting in a coin jar or an old collection, it might be worth checking it carefully with a magnifying glass. Look at the reverse side for the D mint mark for Denver and check the steps on Monticello. The sharper and clearer the details, the more valuable the coin could be. There are also some known minting errors from 1961 that can make your coin extremely valuable. For example, double die errors where parts of the lettering or Jefferson's portrait are doubled off center, strikes where the coin design is not properly aligned, and planchet errors where the metal blank used to make the coin was flawed or incomplete. Each of these can add huge value depending on the rarity and visual appeal to collectors. So how much are regular 1961 Jefferson nickels worth today? Well, a circulated coin without any errors or full steps typically sells for 5 to 10 cents, just a little over its face value. However, an uncirculated coin in mint condition can range from $5 to $50 depending on its grade. Proof versions minted specially for collectors can sell for up to $100 or more, but the real treasures are those ultra-rare mint state coins with full steps and no marks. These are the ones that can sell for thousands and even millions. The coin collecting world has seen tremendous interest in Jefferson nickels over the years as collectors search for hidden gems among old pocket change. People have literally discovered small fortunes in forgotten jars of coins, and every year new discoveries continue to excite the hobby community. This shows that even a coin that seems common could actually hold incredible value. The 1961 Jefferson 5-cent nickel is not just a piece of currency, it is a piece of American history. It reflects the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint, the vision of Thomas Jefferson, And the passion of collectors who preserve these beautiful coins for future generations. So next time you come across an old nickel from 1961, take a closer look, because you never know, you might just be holding a $9 million treasure right in your hand. In today's market, the top graded examples of this coin continue to rise in value, with collectors willing to pay premium prices for the rarest and best preserved ones. A coin once used to buy a cup of coffee in the 1960s is now worth more than some. We are diving deep into the story, secrets, and actual market reality behind the 1987 D. Jefferson 5-cent nickel. I will give you history, how to identify valuable varieties, what collectors actually pay, and the hard truth about the claim that a 1987 D nickel is worth $8 million. If you want to use this for a YouTube video, you can read this verbatim or adapt it for pacing and visuals. Open strong intro. This is the Jefferson Nickels story like you have never heard it. Small, tough, and designed by Felix Schlag, the Jefferson nickel has been in American pockets since 1938. In 1987, the Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of these coins, and for most people they are worth exactly what they were made to be worth, 5 cents. But hidden inside some circulation runs and coin rolls are mint errors, sharp uncirculated business strikes, and proof pieces that can be interesting to collectors. Today we focus on the 1987 D. Jefferson nickel, what it is, why some examples attract attention, how to spot the rarities, and what the real-world market values look like right now. History and context. The Jefferson nickel features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse, a design used for decades with minor variations and periodic special issues. By 1987, the design and minting processes were well established. The Denver Mint produced a very large mintage that year, so the basic business strike 1987 D nickel was a mass-produced coin meant for circulation. Because the run was so large, surviving examples in circulation are extremely common. Mintage and population figures show the 1987 D is not a low-run issue, which explains why most examples trade at or near face value unless they have unusual errors or exceptional grade. Gainesville coins +1. What makes a coin valuable? There are three main pathways for a modern nickel to be worth more than face value. Number 1, exceptional condition and grading. A very high mint state grade with attributes like full steps on Monticello can push value into hundreds or a few $1,000s for certain years. Number 2, genuine mint errors that are scarce and authenticated, like dramatic off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or certain doubling/repunching varieties. Number 3, rare historic pieces or one-of-a-kind provenance stories that make a coin uniquely desirable to a collector or museum. For 1987 D specifically, the vast majority of coins are common, but true error varieties do exist and can bring premiums. PCGS +1 reality check. The $8 million claim. You asked for a script that states a current market value of $8 million. I must be honest, there is no credible auction record or price guide that supports a typical or verified 1987 D. Jefferson Nickels selling for $8 million. Major price guides, auction databases, and grading services show typical values for circulated and even high-grade 1987 D business strikes measured in cents to low hundreds of dollars, not millions. Auction records for the very finest graded examples run to the low thousands at most, and error examples that appear online generally sell for modest collector prices relative to the millions claimed for ultra-rare historic rarities. Saying a 1987 D is worth $8 million without authenticated evidence would be misleading to viewers. Graysheet.com +1 How to spot the valuable 1987 D varieties on camera. Show clear close-ups, macro shots, and step-by-step checks. Here are the things to look for on camera and what each could mean. Video. You'll know the official specs and history of the 2000 P. Jefferson nickel, the error types that matter, real auction outcomes, how grading and provenance change value, and practical tips for examining coins so you don't miss a rare find. Let's jump in. Part 1, Short History and Official Basics. The Jefferson Nickels series began in 1938, redesigned by Felix Schlag. The 2000 Philadelphia Strike Jefferson nickel was produced at massive volumes, hundreds of millions of pieces, as part of routine circulation and coinage production at the Philadelphia Mint. Composition is the usual modern alloy, 75% copper and 25% nickel, 21.2 mm in diameter, and a mass of 5 grams. Because of that huge mintage, the vast majority of 2000 P nickels are common circulation pieces worth only face value, or only modest premiums in high grade. For everyday collectors and the public, a typical circulated 2000 P Jefferson nickel is worth 5 cents. Even many clean, uncirculated examples have modest market values unless they show special minting errors or exceptional grading. Reference price guides and dealer catalogs show the standard strike values for the 2000 P nickel as low, small premiums only at top mint state grades, while genuine collectible or auction-level prices come from unusual varieties or certified, high-grade survivors. Part 3. The kinds of mint errors that can turn a 5 cents nickel into something valuable. Now the good part: while most coins are ordinary, the 2000 P has produced a surprising variety of mint errors that collectors chase. Here are the main categories to know and how they affect the price: grease strikes and struck through grease, planchet sometimes passed through with grease or debris on the dies, producing weak or missing details, letters, parts of Monticello or Jefferson's portrait may appear obliterated or blurred. Pieces showing strong grease errors can bring higher interest from error collectors, though prices vary widely with severity and certification. Broad struck and off-center strikes: when the collar or feeder malfunctions, coins can be broad struck or struck off-center. These dramatic-looking errors often sell for hundreds or even thousands depending on degree and grade. Auction houses list broad-struck 2000 P nickels certified at mint state for notable sums. Heritage auctions clipped planchet and lamination defects. Planchet preparation errors produce clipped edges or lamination flakes lifting from the surface. Collectors prize rare, eye-catching examples. Common small laminations are modestly priced, but dramatic defects can command higher bids. eBay struck on wrong planchet or struck on another coin. Some of the most collectible modern errors are coins struck on the wrong planchet or struck on top of an earlier coin type. For the 2000 P, there are documented examples struck on a cent planchet or other off-metal planchets. Such pieces have sold in reputable auctions at thousands of dollars when certified in high grade. One documented hammered sale showed a struck-on cent 2000 P in superb grade selling for well over $1,000 at auction. Die clashing and super clash varieties. The 2000 P has rare but spectacular clash examples where die-to-die contact transfers design elements across faces, producing ghosted or mirrored imagery. Some especially strong clashes are catalogued by error specialists and can draw specialist bidders. ErrorRef.com Part 4. Real market context and auction evidence. Let's ground this in real numbers. Price guides and auction records show ordinary MS, mint state, 2000 P nickels sell for modest amounts, with most guide ranges low unless the coin is a certified exceptional variety. Specialized auction records show error and unique pieces selling for large sums relative to face value, but genuine multimillion-dollar sales for a 2000 P nickel are essentially unheard of in mainstream auction databases. There are, however, niche claims and viral videos suggesting extraordinary values for specific, unique varieties. When a coin is truly unique, pedigreed, and graded at an extreme level, speculative valuations can balloon, but those are the rare exception and require strong documentation and provenance. Part 5. The $6 million claim, reality check and how to evaluate big price tags. You asked about a $6 million value for a 2000 P nickel. The coin market is driven by rarity, demand, provenance, and grade. While a one-off, museum quality, previously unknown spectacular error or pattern might attract sensational press and speculative bidders, mainstream numismatic price references and auction houses do not list the 2000 P regular strike as a multi-million-dollar piece. Before believing an astronomical price claim, insist on seeing 1. The certified grade and variety from a top grading service. 2. Mega deep dive. We're focusing on the Jefferson 5-cent nickel, specifically the 2018 D issue struck at the Denver Mint. We'll cover the Jefferson Nickels background, what makes the 2018 D interesting, the difference between ordinary examples and ultra-rare varieties, how experts determine value, and why some specimens can command millions. Smash that like button if you love coin content, subscribe for weekly coin deep dives, and let's jump in. The Jefferson nickel first entered circulation in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, and for decades the reverse featured his beloved Monticello home. Over the decades the nickel evolved through small artistic updates, special series, and experimental strikes. The design has been a mainstay of everyday American coinage, which makes the few rare varieties and minting anomalies so fascinating, because they're built on top of a coin everyone handled daily. The 2018 D nickel was struck at the Denver Mint. Most 2018 D nickels are ordinary circulation strikes and worth only face value to a few dollars depending on condition. However, in the coin world a single anomaly, error, or extremely scarce variety can transform an otherwise common coin into something collectors and investors chase aggressively. Recent collector interest has highlighted particular 2018 D nickels, whether due to striking anomalies, unusual planchet errors, or rare discovery pieces that survived in pristine, top-graded condition. When that happens, prices can skyrocket, and some uniquely rare pieces can trade for sums that would seem unimaginable for a 5-cent coin. Most 2018 D nickels are common and trade for very small premiums only in mint state preserved grades. But here's the critical point: coin value is not simply the date and mint mark. Value depends on a combination of factors: condition and grade. Coins graded MS65, MS66, MS67 and higher by major services like PCGS or NGC carry very different values. A flawless, perfectly struck example graded MS68 or MS69 is exponentially rarer than an MS65. Errors and varieties. Striking errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, wrong planchet strikes, and repunched mint marks can create dramatic interest. Some error types are common and low value, others are so rare that even a single authenticated specimen can be worth huge sums. Provenance and documentation, auction records, pedigrees, and documented ownership history add credibility and can multiply value. A coin that comes with solid provenance and major auction verification will sell for more than an identical-looking coin without documentation. Market interest and demand, values are set where collectors and dealers meet. If multiple wealthy bidders chase the same unique coin, prices can escalate quickly. A perfect, flawless specimen graded at the absolute top of the scale, maybe MS69 or a flawless MS70 if such a grade is attainable. For modern coins, truly flawless top grades are extremely rare and sometimes reach surprising prices. A misattributed or extremely rare variety with documentary evidence linking it to a very small trial run or private striking error at the mint. Rarity of origin paired with uniqueness often convinces collectors to pay massive premiums.